So this is the second video on forming quadratic equations given the roots. So in this example, we've been given roots x equals 2 over 5 and x equals 1.5. Now this is just a little bit more complicated because we have fractions. So remember, these are the roots, and in order to find the equation, what we need to find is we need to find the factors. And then we multiply the two factors together to give us the quadratic equation. So when it's fractions, you have to treat it slightly differently, and you just have to do one extra step. So we don't like fractions. Fractions are complicated, so we want to simplify it. So the first thing we do here to simplify this fraction is we multiply both sides by 5. Here the 5 will cancel, and we're left with 5x equals 2. Now remember, we want a factor, so we want 0 on one side and everything else on the other side, so I'm going to take away 2 from both sides. And we're left with 5x minus 2 equals 0. And that's our first factor. Well, 5x minus 2 is our first factor. What about this other root? We have x equals 1.5. Well, before you multiply this by the denominator to take it or stop it being a fraction, you just want to turn this into a top-heavy fraction, and 1.5 is the same as 3/2. Now multiply both sides by 2. 2's cancel. We're left with 2x equals 3, and therefore 2x minus 3 equals to 0. And that 2x minus 3 is our second factor. So that's the only difference from the other examples that we're doing that we covered in the last video. You want to make sure that this is not a fraction. How do you make sure it's not a fraction? You multiply by the denominator on both sides. And what you're left with is you're going to be left with a coefficient of x, so a number in front of x in both factors. Last step then is to turn this into an equation. So to turn it into an equation, we get our two factors and we multiply them out. So we have 5x minus 2 multiplied by 2x minus 3. That's 5x multiplied by 2x minus 3 minus 2 multiplied by 2x minus 3. 5x times 2x will be 10x squared. 5x times minus 3 will be minus 15x. Minus 2 times 2x will be minus 4x. And minus 2 times minus 3 will be plus 6 equal to 0. Don't forget to equal to 0 on the other side actually. We can add the like terms, so we've minus 15x and minus 4x. So we've 10x squared minus 19x plus 6x equals to 0. And that's your answer.